Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the latest financial results from tech giant SAP. They've made a massive bet on the cloud, and as we're about to see, the numbers suggest it's starting to pay off in a very big way.
So, on October 22nd, SAP dropped its third quarter results for 2025. And really, the whole story boils down to one word: cloud.
I mean, the CEO, Christian Klein, summed it up perfectly himself. He said SAP delivered a great Q3 with strong cloud revenue growth of 27%. And that quote really sets the tone. The big takeaway here is that their huge, multi-year strategic shift to the cloud, well, it's not just a plan anymore. It's working, and they've got the numbers to back it up.
Okay, so let's jump right in. We'll start with the headline numbers, the what that really tells the story of this quarter.
27%. If you take away just one number from all this, make it this one. This is the growth in SAP's cloud revenue, which is the absolute core of their new business model. Now, this is calculated at constant currency, which is just a fancy way of saying they've taken out the noise from exchange rate changes to show the real performance. And it translates to almost 5.3 billion euros in just 3 months. That is a massive engine for growth.
And this cloud momentum, it's not happening in a vacuum. It's lifting the entire company. Total revenue is up 11%. So this isn't just one division doing well while the others lag. This cloud-first strategy is fundamentally reshaping and accelerating the whole business.
But how are they pulling this off? To really get it, we need to pop the hood and look at how SAP's entire business model is going through this pretty dramatic shift.
You know, think about it this way. The old model was all about one-time software license sales, kind of like buying a music CD back in the day. You get a big chunk of cash up front, but then the deal is basically done. The new model is all about recurring cloud subscriptions. It's just like your Spotify or Netflix subscription. It's a steady, predictable stream of income month after month. And that is exactly what investors and businesses love to see.
And wow, does this chart just lay it all out there? I mean, look at this. It's so stark. You see cloud revenue skyrocketing up 27%. At the exact same time, the old school software license revenue, it plummeted by 42%. This isn't some slow, gradual turn. This is a clear, decisive, and frankly, aggressive pivot away from the old and into the new.
Now here's where it gets really interesting if you're trying to figure out where SAP is headed. They highlight this metric called the current cloud backlog. So what on earth is that? Well, think of it as business they've already sold. It's the total value of all the cloud contracts they've already signed, and that revenue is just guaranteed to come in over the next few years.
And that pipeline, it is enormous. 18.8 billion euros. That's almost 19 billion euros in future business that's already locked in and committed. It's just a massive vote of confidence from their customers and a super powerful indicator of the growth that's still to come.
Okay, so we've got the what, huge cloud growth, and we've got the how, this shift to subscriptions. But now, let's talk about the why. Because numbers this big don't just happen by accident. They are the result of a very deliberate strategy.
The main engine driving all this is a flagship program called Rise with SAP. And what it is basically their all-in-one offering that helps these massive, often very complex companies move their entire business, the whole shebang, from their own servers into the cloud. And clearly, it's a hit.
Just look at the names signing on the dotted line for Rise this quarter. I mean, these are not small players. We're talking about global powerhouses. Alphabet, Google's parent company, BMW, Ericsson, Nestle, Takeda Pharmaceuticals. These are some of the biggest and most complicated companies in the world, and they're choosing SAP to run their core operations in the cloud.
And you know, a really smart part of their strategy is that they're not trying to do this all alone. They're partnering up with other tech giants. By working with OpenAI, for example, they can bake cutting-edge AI directly into their business tools. And by deepening their relationships with Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud, they're making sure their platform runs on the best cloud infrastructure out there. It just makes their own stuff that much more powerful. And just in case you weren't convinced about their momentum, check this out. Their national security division just landed a massive $1 billion contract with the United States Army. This is a huge, decade-long deal to move the Army's systems onto SAP's secure cloud platform.
So, with all this incredible momentum, what does the road ahead look like? Let's talk about the bottom line and the key things you should really take away from this quarter.
So you might think, with all this investment in a new business model, maybe their profits are taking a hit. But nope, their operating profit is up a very healthy 19%. And look at this, they generated over 1.2 billion euros in free cash flow. That's the hard cash left over after running the business, which gives them huge flexibility to keep investing for the future. And because of this strong performance, SAP is feeling pretty optimistic. They've updated their forecast for the entire year. They're now telling investors to expect profits to be at the high end of their target, and they've actually increased their forecast for that free cash flow we just talked about. That's a company that is feeling very good about where it's headed.
So if you boil it all down, what's the one crucial point to take away? It's simple. SAP's huge strategic bet to pivot to a cloud-first, subscription-based model, it's no longer a bet. It's a reality, and it is delivering powerful, tangible results.
And this leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question. With its cloud strategy firing on all cylinders and its deep integration with the world's biggest companies, is SAP now perfectly positioned to lead the next massive wave in technology, enterprise AI? That could be the next chapter in this transformation story. Thanks for watching.